Jay Sano without intro music. Jay Sano with intro music. Intro music remix. Jay Sano 19, Jay Sano 19. Jay Sano 19, Jay Sano 19.
Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back. I'm trying.
You really pissed off the people on the internet in our farming simulator that went live today?
So according to my comments, you really pissed off the people on the internet.
Really? How did I do that?
I don't even remember what our topic was, but the last actually 2 or 3 videos, people have been like, Guude has no idea what he's talking about. Like, oh, that's what all my comments are.
Well, see, so, well, there was the one video that went out where we talked about artificial intelligence and whether or not we care about computers and their livelihoods.
Yes.
If they die. Oh, there's a creeper on top of our house. And so I guess Co talked about that video in the stream. So there might be some people that came over a little bit upset because Co and I have had this conversation, and it was brought up in the video too that Co and I have had this conversation, and he went and commented on my video about it even. So that might be what that's all about, is people that love their computers want to marry them.
So what one went up today?
Today was the one where you said dogs are bad. Well, certain breeds of dogs.
Oh, okay. So I haven't had many comments on that, but the few comments that I have had on that were people agreeing with me. Actually,
see, that was what was funny. Is I went on my video, they're like, Jeff's a fucking retard, and I went and looked at your video to see if Jeff's a fucking retard. I'm like, yeah, I agree with Jeff. And I was like, wow, the fucking polarization here between the two communities.
That's how the nets. It's how the nets work.
It's just so bizarre to me.
I actually knew that even saying that, though, because there's so many people in the world, and I don't fault them for this, but they are huge quote unquote animal lovers, but specifically there are a huge sects of people who are Pit and Rottweiler lovers, and they think that they are just dogs with a bad reputation. And to an extent, I can understand where they're coming from, but you can't get away from instincts. I mean, that's really just what it comes down to, is you can't get away from instincts.
I still don't know if I agree with you. I still feel like it's all about their upbringing. Because I mean,
that's like saying homosexuality is based on your upbringing, and we had this conversation before.
Well, no, see, I don't think that's the same, though.
I mean, and I agree. Yes, you can't, like, people are going to be like, oh my god, now Jeff's like, he's saying that homosexuality is the same as being a dog. Like, that's exactly what people are going to say on this thing.
And bitches.
Yeah. And that's exactly I can't say the exact opposite, but that is not at all what I am saying. But it's the same thing with the whole upbringing piece. There's specific instincts and things that come from nature that people have, and that's the homosexuality debate, is that people feel that that's a nature thing.
So I feel like,
and there's certain breeds of dogs and things that, you know, people do and the way that people act that are nature and not nurture.
But see, this is reminding me of like old documents talking about black people.
Old documents.
Oh yeah, no, for real, like old documents.
Let me bust out my old documents.
No, listen now, where people talk about how black people are just bred to be workers, and that's why slavery should exist because
how is that nature versus nurture?
Because you're talking about a breed, a race. I mean, I think to me, I think
so what you're saying is black people are like Rottweilers and pit bulls? Is that what you're saying?
I feel like that's what you're saying, is that races of people fit stereotypes, and I don't think that that's the case. But I mean, I don't know if that's exactly what you're saying, but to me, it's similar to what you're saying.
I'll be honest. I hear what you're saying from the standpoint of why you can glean that that's what I'm saying. And that's actually a relatively good summation of what it does sound like I'm saying, which also does make me rethink that, oh wow, yeah, I guess breeds of dogs are similar to like races of people, so that does make me start thinking about it in a different category. That was a really good actually statement to get me thinking about it in a completely different perspective, because I never thought about it like that before, and I guess I can See, I don't know if that naturally makes sense if they're like the same, if breeds of dogs are similar and different enough as races of people are or not. I don't know the answer to that, actually. I'm not a anthropologist.
Is that the right word?
Yes, that is actually the right word.
I wouldn't know. I believe you though.
Yeah. I never actually thought about it like that. So now it actually does make me like think about, you know, people. There's articles and studies on specific breeds of dogs. Which ones are the friendliest? Which ones are the most, you know, animalistic? Blah blah blah. You know, Siberian Huskies, Alaskan Malamutes are up there, and that animalistic. You know, many instincts that drive what they do. You know, Golden Retrievers, Golden Labs are up there with the friendliest types of animals of dogs that exist. I guess I never thought about it from looking at it. Is it the same thing as different breeds of people, and all these people who categorize dogs as different breeds is just completely ill-placed?
I mean, there is a reason why certain dogs are police dogs and certain dogs aren't. I mean, it's not just about.
But why would that be though? That would go against the argument, because that would be like saying.
No. I mean, I'm flopping. I'm flopping on to a different side of the argument momentarily to say that there might be some logic to what you're saying, because I mean, it's kind of been proven that certain dog types are better capable of doing certain things. But I still don't know if I believe that certain dog types are more prone to being vicious, or cannot be, or the viciousness cannot be trained out of them, I guess is what I have trouble believing. Can we sleep?
I mean, we can. The possibility exists, yes. I like how the door's open. Dude, do you live in a barn, man?
I'm gonna go back outside as we sleep.
That's really an interesting like concept now. Is I never related those two to be the same at all, and I would have thought you were ridiculous for even trying to bring up that point. But I mean, it makes sense.
I agree. So, Rottweilers are not vicious animals.
That's so I can't agree with that yet though. I don't have the facts. I don't have all the facts. Now I'm so
you're saying that black people should be slaves.
Now I'm so curious to see like if there's a research out there that says, where'd my bucket go? I had a bucket. It's like gone.
Is there some research out there that shows where Jeff's bucket went?
There might be. Like literally, I brought both of these things of water in here.
I have a water bucket. Oh no, that was definitely my water bucket. Why are you putting the farm inside? Don't you want to farm under the sun?
But what if it's dark?
Well, we get in the bed.
but then it's not under the sun while it's dark. I don't know. I was just making it trying to make it convenient. I mean, if you want it outside, I guess I'll put it outside.
It don't have to be. I'm imagining. So you're doing like a rough and dirty farm, and I'm imagining like a beautiful farm.
Well, I want something, because we're like almost out of food.
Okay.
Where the hell is my bucket though? Like I'm so confused.
I'm gonna go get obsidian and make us an enchanting table though.
Okay.
I did. So I guess in between episodes, people didn't see that we did get some more diamonds. We basically finished off this cave really quick. Between episodes, they did not get to see that.
I just can't believe I have to make another bucket. Was it in between episodes that we finished it off?
Yeah. Because I died too. Actually, people didn't see that either. Remember, we were like stopped recording, and then I died like right afterwards.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot.
And then then we met up to get my stuff back, and then there wasn't much more cave left at that point, and that was all.
And I'm doing like the old school farm style. It's not even necessary anymore, but
I'm
doing it just because like I can. Like why not?
So to change the subject, not just for the sake.
You don't want to keep talking about the same subject. I'm sure everybody loves it.
I mean, we can. But I thought about you today. I was getting gas, and that's when people always think about Jeff.
Yep, makes sense.
I was getting gas, and I was looking at the prices of cigarettes because they're plastered out there above the gas pumps.
Okay.
And I was shocked at how expensive cigarettes are. I mean, I haven't bought cigarettes in a long time. Like when I was a kid, like me and like my cousins smoked or whatever, like as little kids sometimes do. But it wasn't like a long standing thing. So I haven't like smoked as an adult to realize, because back then like cigarettes was like $2 a pack or something.
Right.
And like I didn't realize that Ice Bucket Challenge, really. Okay. I don't even know. I have to see what this achievement.
Well, obviously, whatever you just did gave $100 to ALS.
Right.
Clearly,
apparently, if you make obsidian yourself and then mine it, then you get that. Weird. So, anyways, yeah, I didn't realize cigarettes were so expensive. Was the first.
So, out of curiosity, why did it make you think of me?
Well, because then I thought, man, who could afford? How is it people can kill themselves at such a high rate of cost? I mean, I guess there's people doing heroin and cocaine and stuff, and they're probably spending a lot more. But the next thing I thought was, I wonder how much vape stuff costs. And so I decided I would ask you tonight, because I know that you buy that stuff.
So, because I used to smoke, and I thought you thought for some reason I still smoked, and it's been like many years since I smoked. And by many, I mean like 3 or 4. I don't mean, it's not been like, 30 years ago as a smoker. Yeah, I quit like 3 or 4 years ago now. But I quit by starting vaping for those who don't know. So it cost me $30 for a 50 mil vape bottle, vial, bottle, whatever you want to call it, and it lasts me for 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay,
maybe. So
that's significantly cheaper then, because like a pack.
In 2 weeks, I will tell you, is if I'm vaping a lot. It's like when I'm sitting at my computer constantly doing nothing but sitting here, because I will vape constantly while I'm sitting here, just because it's like something to do while I'm like working on the computer. So if I'm out and about and doing stuff, it takes way longer to go through them. But if I constantly have those weeks where I'm doing like homework assignments or recording a bunch of videos or something like that, in 2 weeks, and that's a lot, but way cheaper. For sure.
Yeah. Like, so how much is a pack of cigarettes there? Have you noticed?
Oh God.
Because like I live in one of those states where it's super cheap because we're a tobacco environment.
So Virginia, which is right next to DC, used to be this big tobacco haven. And when I first moved to DC, I was still a smoker, and I used to go to Virginia to buy my cigarettes, because in DC they were like $6 or $7 a pack, and in Virginia they were like 3 to 4. Now though, it's all changed, and I think they're like still expensive in Virginia, and I think I saw them in Maryland. Last time I was at the gas station, I glanced at them, and I think I saw them for like $8 a pack or something, which is crazy. Because like you said, $2 a pack when I started smoking was a good deal, but they were between $2.50 and $3 a pack, and if you could find a sale for $2 a pack, you went and like stocked up. And what I mean stock up, I mean buy like 3 or 4 packs, because that's all I could afford when I was an 18-year-old kid working at McDonald's.
Like, I remember when my dad smoked, it was like he'd go buy a carton, and it was always $20 for a carton. And now I don't even want to know what a carton costs, and it's weird to me, the variation on the cost too. Like, I was just sitting there looking at this chart, and just kind of, I don't know, I guess it's just not. I was just kind of in awe of the cost of all this, and how it varies. Like the cheapest brand was something called Pyramid. And I was like, pyramid scheme. But it was like $3 a pack. I was like, oh, okay, that's one thing. But then the Marlboros were like $5, but then the Newports were like $6.50. So it was like, why is it Marlboros and Camels that were both $5? I was like, why is Newport so more expensive?
Any smokers who watch your channel right now are going, holy shit, I gotta go to where Guude lives. Get these cheap ass cigarettes wherever he gets them from.
This was at the Kroger gas station. So I mean, I don't know how it varies. Who regulates the price of cigarettes? Is it a state thing, or
a lot of it's based on state taxes for sure. States that have higher taxes on cigarettes, like a sin tax. Syntax, like how do you say something? Incorrect syntax. No, like the places who have the sin taxes, they usually are super, like New York. I think New York's been damn near $10 a pack for years. And I say that without ever living there and really knowing and just hearing stories. So I don't know if, you know, that's absolutely true or if that's just stories. But I do know they're like one of the most expensive states for purchasing cigarettes. But I think some of it's also market driven. But some of it also store driven, because when CVS used to be my go-to place to buy cigarettes, because CVS had the cheapest cigarettes. CVS is also that place who completely decided that they were getting out of the cigarette business and one day just like basically took them all off their shelves.
It is kind of weird for a drugstore to be selling cigarettes to me. For some reason that seems like...
Well, a lot of gas stations and drugstores and places that do sell cigarettes, they sell them to... It's like one of those bringing in customers type of deal. You make the store convenient to have something that people want just to get them in the door, and then they'll buy other things. That's the intent and the point of all that. So that's why a lot of places did that. But CVS, like when I started smoking, when I was trying to quit and I was cutting back, and this doesn't even make any sense, but I switched over to Dejurums, which are clove cigarettes.
Oh god, those things, clove cigarettes smell so bad.
They smell, I think they smell so delicious, but they make you smell like a terrible, terrible human being, because you smell like you smoked a pack of cigarettes when you smoked one, but while smoking it smells so sweet and delicious. So it's weird. It's like pipe smoke. Pipe smoke smells amazing. And
I've always hated both of those. It always made me feel nauseous for some reason.
See, I really like the smell of pipe smoke, but they used to have Dejurums. I think it was like $4 a pack, when your normal store would sell those for 8 to 10 because they were more in demand. So CVS was the go-to, and then CVS is the one who was like, "Oh, we don't want to cater toward the cigarette crowd anymore because it's bad for your health." Which I was also one of those people who was very upset when the big push for eliminating indoor smoking happened, because I'm under the impression that if you want to go to a bar and smoke, that's your own prerogative. If people want to go to a bar and not deal with cigarette smoke, they can go to a bar that is a non-smoking bar. But now that so many places have gone non-smoking, I'm a lot more like...
The thing was, there's no such thing. Whenever you could smoke, at least in my experience, whenever you could smoke indoors, it was everywhere. And I mean, that definitely limited where I went. Like, I was in all these poker leagues, and we ended up quitting the poker leagues that we played in because of cigarette smoke. Like, I hated going home and having a headache from people smoking.
See, I worked in a bingo hall, and this bingo hall had most people who play bingo are smokers, and these they had to by law have a non-smoking section in the bingo hall. I swear to God, the non-smoking, it was like this. It was this room. Imagine just a big conference room. Split it into fourths, and one of those fourths was the non-smoking section. It wasn't separated. It was just...
Well, that's how a lot of restaurants
you sit at tables 4 or 8 if you don't want to smoke.
Right. Like, a lot of restaurants was like, you want smoking or non-smoking back whenever you could smoke indoors. And you'd get sat beside a table like, oh, well, you're in the non-smoking section, even though the next table over is the smoking section. Or there's like a half wall or something separating the two. It's like, this isn't really doing anything. I'm still getting the smoke.
Can we sleep?
Yeah, I'm one of the guys that's super happy that they made it a law where you can't smoke indoors.
So I was always a relatively courteous smoker, and most of my friends were as well. I had a couple that didn't give a fuck and just kind of like would light up wherever and blow it in people's faces. But I remember we went to a bar once, and we asked for the smoking section, so they took us to this table, and it was literally like the lower floor was the smoking section, and the upper balcony-ish area, and by balcony I don't mean like a full balcony, I mean like, you know, a couple steps up on the risers on the side, that was like the non-smoking area. But the problem is there was zero separation in this place, and they literally sat us at this table against the wall. So basically you look next to you and all you see is the people's feet of the table that are on the upper section, because it's only like, you know, it's only a little step up about to your waist level. And there was like a family with a bunch of kids sitting there, and we all stopped and we just looked at each other, and we looked at the waitress and we're like, can you move us to a different table? And she was like, well, what do you mean? Like, we said, we wanted to be in the smoking section. And she was like, well, you are in the smoking section. And we all just said, we will not smoke with children within an arm's reach of us right over here in the non-smoking section. And she was like, oh, okay, I guess. And like moved us like very hesitantly. But I was like, really? Like, we didn't want to... Our intent is not to fill these people's lungs with smoke who don't want to be smokers.
Right.
We want to smoke because we want to smoke. Like... Yeah, man, the last
I remember...
Last cigarette I had.
We went to Oregon, and I remember my dad smoking the whole way on the plane.
On the plane?
Yeah.
How do you pull that off?
Well, it's just legal. It was the cigarette ashtray out in the seat.
There's ashtrays in the seat now. It's not legal. It hadn't been legal since like the 60s.
No, that's not true. This was, let's see, I was like 10, so it was like 90.
Bullshit.
91. Nope, the whole way there. I remember having manicotti. I can tell you everything about this flight. And my dad smoked the whole way there.
When did smoking become illegal on planes?
Might have been 89.
Okay, smoking was banned when a flight was 2 hours or less in 88, with all planes being smoke-free. Oh, by the end of the 90s.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
By the end of the 90s? I thought you could only smoke in international flights like throughout the 80s and 90s.
No, like I said, it was a flight to Oregon, so it was here, all the way across the United States. But yeah, no, the whole way there, he was smoking it up.
Oh my God, I can't even imagine. Like, it would be amazing. I mean, terrible. I do. One thing that does upset me, though, is the non-vaping policy in a lot of places.
I disagree again.
Go ahead.
I mean, I understand what you're going to say, but I've been walking behind you, and that stuff makes me cough.
See,
like,
I call bullshit.
The smell of it, like there's still a smell and a taste that is not clean oxygen. It may be water vapor, sure.
There is vape that has a distinct smell to it. I specifically have vape that does not, and I can smoke in cars, in office buildings, in planes. Nobody ever has any idea because it's completely scent-free. And I feel like
you must have had some point that wasn't, because I remember walking.
I think we happened to walk by a sewer grate as you were walking behind me.
No.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident.
Where do we want our? I'm gonna clear out our house a little bit.
Did we not get any potatoes from any zombies?
No, not that I'm aware of.
It's kind of crazy, wouldn't you think? We killed a lot of zombies.
I just don't want to give any convenience to people that are killing themselves. Like, don't like.
Well, then close down all bars.
I mean, that was another thing.
Make marijuana illegal. So that's the funny thing is, I'm sure you're not somebody who's against people being able to smoke marijuana, right?
No,
but
not in public.
Just because it's not, you don't think they should smoke it in public?
No. I think you should have the same rules. Do that shit in your own time at your own place, unless it's like a designated marijuana shop that it's like a coffee house type of thing. That sort of thing. Then sure.
Why would a marijuana shop be a coffee house?
Like a coffee house, like a place that is designated for the smoking of marijuana. That's what you do in there. Similar to like you go into a coffee house and you get coffee.
I'd like a table for two, please, at the marijuana shop.
These things exist,
Oh shit! What the hell just happened? I just completely rubber banded and have no idea which direction I'm facing.
I did too.
That was really weird.
But no, these things exist in Amsterdam. There are definitely the equivalent of coffee houses for going and getting stoned.
See, but I think one of the big reasons that vaping is illegal is for the fact that it's got a stigma attached to it, like cigarettes. And it's like my fire station. It's funny. There's signs on all fire stations in Montgomery County that say no smoking or vaping on premises. But you can chew tobacco, because that's not...
Well, that's because you're not putting something into the air.
But in vaping, you're really not putting anything into the air either. Tobacco... People chewing tobacco, that smells a hell of a lot more than any, even of the strongest vape cigarettes I've ever smelled that have a scent to them.
I don't think it's about smell. Like, there's carcinogens you're still putting in the air.
Why would there be carcinogens in water vapor?
I'm pretty sure that it's not just water vapor that you're exhaling.
No, but there's ingredients that are not like, it's not like tobacco that is filled with... Well, I guess tobacco is different. It's not like a cigarette that is filled with 100 carcinogens. There's like two.
But it is foreign agents that I didn't invite into my body. You might, and that's fine. That's for you to do on your own in your own area. But I don't want them.
So what about a restaurant who's cooking stuff on the grill and they're expelling all that stuff out their smokestacks?
I mean, I always think that that's kind of bullshit. The ones that do it specifically to get people to come in. You know what I'm talking about, right? Like Burger King, they just like. They're like trying to lure people in with the flame grill smell.
Wait, you think that's why Burger King does what they do?
Oh yeah.
You,
I mean, they obviously.
You don't think it's just part of their cooking technique?
I mean, it is part of it, sure, but I think that there's a little bit more to it than that. I think it's definitely supposed to entice with the nose for you to come inside and buy some of what you're smelling. But now, I mean, all pollution. Yeah, I'm against pollution.
So, but you drive a car?
I do, but I would like a Tesla.
But that's still gonna have some pollution. Actually, I have no idea. Tesla is all electric, right?
Right. Yeah. No, the only pollution that's there is from whatever energy is being created, however it is, like, you know, the power plant that's powering this, however they're polluting. That's your basic concern.
See, I just think if you start making so many things illegal, you start kind of taking away somebody's free will or desire to do anything except for stay inside their house.
I don't think that you should be allowed to introduce things into other people's bodies without their consent.
It's like rape by smoking.
It is. It really is. This is chemical rape.
I don't know if I can buy that, because it's so. What's to stop that from going the step further and saying, okay, you think that vaping is something that's bad for you, but you really don't know the facts on that. You just assume it is, and I'm sure part of it's because of the cigarette stigma. What about Wi-Fi signals? All these other things you can't see that people are putting out there in the atmosphere that you are now exposed to.
I mean, yeah, there's people that are afraid of the power lines too, right?
There are, but will that fit in the same category?
I don't think so, no.
And why not? It's because you don't believe those are bad for you.
No, they might be. I don't know, but I do know that the others are bad for me.
You don't know that vaping is bad for you. A secondhand vape is bad for you. There's been no studies,
chemicals
that
are not oxygen. There is no. It's not good for you.
Wi-Fi is something that's not oxygen.
I'm not breathing it in either, though.
You don't know how Wi-Fi works.
Apples and oranges. You're trying to compare.
You don't know how Wi-Fi works.
I know enough to know I'm not breathing in the Wi-Fi.
I would posit to say you are breathing in Wi-Fi.
This is where the people in the comments call you a retard again, Jeff.
They never called me a retard.
They did. They actually said that. They said, I'm now convinced Jeff is a retard.
I like how the people who think the Rottweilers and the Pit Bulls are the nice dogs think that I'm the retard.
Oh, God. You've done it.
It's on now, folks. It is.
And with that, we're out of time. Please leave your comments about breathing in the Wi-Fi. Thanks for watching.
Breathing in Wi-Fi. Some people believe anything. See ya.